Sorry. I get too emotional. You can tell I already am like so emotionally involved in this truck. Oh my goodness, what is happening to me? I've had a hard week. It's late. We are well on our way to go on a crazy adventure. We found a truck, an awesome truck that I feel like we can't live without. Maybe. It's only 2 hours drive one way, and you will be amazed. It's like a truck from my youth, and I just love it. I haven't seen it yet, only in pictures, so you know it's way nicer than I even imagined, right? Look at you two.
Yeah.
Are we on another adventure together?
Adventure!
Okay, we got late at night. My two partners in crime.
You know it.
We got an excursion.
Yep.
And an empty trailer and a giant walleye.
Oh, the walleye. We're in Malacca, which is one of the fishing capitals of the world. Right over here. Ice fishing for the walleye. There's 3 places that you can go get walleye in. This is one of them.
Nice. Do you like walleye?
Oh yeah. It's kind of like a brick, like a cinder block wall. So we just called them walleyes.
That's not true.
Oh yeah.
They have a lot of teeth.
They do.
Oh yeah, they hurt when they bite your finger.
Yep.
Getting the hook out of the mouth.
And this is life size. This is how big they grow
Yeah.
in. So what we're gonna do, this is a fun prank that Minnesota people do. Late at night, they steal the walleye and put it on a trailer, and then they hide it. So, get the tail.
Sometimes your plans don't go according to plan.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe your trailer gets hit.
Maybe you get in a crash and the lady that accidentally crashes into you has to sit in the car while you do a deal. What the heck just happened? Oh, we got a new truck.
We're out in the middle of
There's like a shady building over there and
this
what is going on here?
car graveyard, and they just so happened to tow the lady's car who smashed into our trailer.
Oh my gosh.
Right next to all. Look at our precious excursion.
Oh,
It's okay.
the V10.
Mm.
That's weird.
Too bad. So sad.
Oh my god.
Tell you what, it handled it like a champ. So here's
It
what
really
happened.
did.
Here's
we
what
gotta
happened.
show you.
And look at these mud flaps. Oh, Big Sky, Montana.
So there.
The very
What
edge of the
hit,
trailer,
literally right there.
she smashed it.
So cracked the boards, popped every bolt out of the boards.
And it jackknifed the trailer into
Yeah.
the back of the excursion.
On this
Because
side,
it was on ice.
you can really
so it
see
just
what
went.
happened.
Bent the whole
Just-
trailer
yeah.
frame. Thankfully, there was nothing on the trailer at the time it happened.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what they call the brick nose.
Yeah.
88 F250 Montana lifetime truck. It came here because the clutch came out of it, and it's a big block 460 gas motor with a 5-speed manual, 4x4. All original paint. It's got a little patina happening, no problem.
It's adorable.
It's a pretty straight, good old truck. Interior's nice.
Yep.
It's got air and cruise. Other than that,
No cracks on the dash, no
yeah,
nothing.
pretty nice truck.
Red
No rust.
interior.
Zero rust. So, these guys are way up north, and they just couldn't get it fixed. And so
Start trying to figure out why.
Yeah. We bought it for basically the cost of a rust-free pickup box. So even if we sell it for parts, we're good. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Lumberjack Garage, where I've got myself into a situation that I already regret. But this is my childhood dream truck. I remember these trucks. I was about 10, 11 years old when this body style came out, and I remember it clearly.
See this long row of junkers? It's not too tough a road for the famous Ford Bigfoot, but can a regular Ford 4x4 drive over it carrying a Chevy? Watch as the Ford starts to claw over the twisted metal. Only Ford has twin traction beam front suspension, and this year only Ford has a complete line of multi-port fuel-injected engines. Yes, the Ford makes it over the torture road and joins its big brother. Ford, the best-selling pickup in the world. The best-built American truck, 7 years running. Built Ford Tough.
Was such a change from what we now call the bullnose trucks. 1986 had the seal beam headlights. 1987 was the first year of this body style, and it went to a composite style headlight. Also big change in this era, fuel injection instead of carburation, which of course was the latest and greatest.
This is the new shape of tough, the 87 big Ford pickup. And to prove its toughness and power, we're going to haul this Chevy up this monster mountain of boulders while towing this Dodge. And this year, a GMC pickup too. This aerodynamic Ford has the biggest V8 engine and a multi-port fuel-injected 6 standard. And there's more news. Now there's a 6-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty on all 87 Ford-like trucks. The best-built American truck, 7 years running, built Ford Tough.
I just remember these trucks being such an amazing change when Ford transitioned to this. So my grandpa had owned a Ford dealership from the 1950s until the 1980s, and then after that, the rest of his career, he worked at various Ford dealerships, and that's what he did till he retired. And so we always were kind of into cars, into Fords, and I remember one particular trip where me, my dad, and my grandpa had to go somewhere. I was probably 11, 12 years old, and my grandpa grabbed a truck off the car lot, and it was this era Ford standard cab long box 460 big block with a stick, and we drove it for several hours up to northern Minnesota to do some job or pick up a car, I believe, and drive it back. And the whole trip I sat in the middle seat, and I just remember my grandpa and my dad talking about how great of a truck this was, how powerful the motor was, how nice it was to drive, how smooth it was, because this was such a change from the earlier trucks. And in fact, Ford called this a Super Duty in their own literature. So of course, that's my connection to this truck. That's why I'm here, elbows deep in another project that I don't need. Really had decided I'm not buying any more projects this year. And it was good until February. That's as long as I can stand. So let's see what we bought. And I am going to do a little bit of work on this truck today, and then it is going to have to get pushed to a back burner, but we're going to get it prepared. So try to make sure that I don't notice any mice nests, but if there are, we're going to vacuum everything and then try to make it so that hopefully mice don't get in it. And on my schedule, I'm sure I'm probably a couple months away from being able to touch this truck, but we'll see what we got. And hey, at least it'll be in my junkyard instead of somebody else's. One of my favorite things to do is do a treasure hunt inside the truck to see what we find. We notice the interior very dirty, but the dash is clean, not cracked. Headliner's super nice. The seat is wore, but it's not tore. Carpet appears to be in good condition. It's had floor mats in it, and we've got factory owner's manual, factory papers, the warranty card, the business card of the guy that sold this new, and look at this. I found these. These are papers they had to register when they were trading horses, and this is Montana. So this thing was a working truck, was a horse truck. These are from the early 90s, or about the time this truck was new. Because this is 1988. And look at this. F-Series Super Duty. I didn't even realize they were calling these the Super Duties back then. I was reading this horse transfer card, and they bought the horse from Joe Big Knife. How cool would that be? A nickname, Joe Big Knife. Tell you what, if you're buying a horse from Joe Big Knife, you do not even negotiate. You just pay what he's asking. I need a name like that. I think I want to call myself Bill Big Knife. That way, like, yeah, you just buy a truck from me. It is what it is. You buy it. I want to get my shirt monogrammed. I had this thing inside all night long, and it still didn't hardly melt all the snow out of the box. But we found a tire, and we found transmission and transfer case, which is awesome. So the guy I bought this from said that something happened to the transmission. They pulled it, they put a new clutch in, and then they were trying to find a used transmission because maybe the synchros were bad, is what he thought he remembered. This truck's been sitting a little while. Their mechanic quit, and the truck just ended up sitting in a field. So we can't let this thing just, you know, die a slow, painful death in somebody else's yard. Has to do that in my yard. Today, all I'm going to do is clean this truck, kind of see what we need for parts. And I'm going to have to push this thing back outside because I cannot touch it right now. Too busy. I'm too scheduled for the next couple months, but I'm anxious to get back at this one, so we're not going to let it sit for too long. We're just kind of hitting the high points quick. This is not a deep clean or, you know, like a perfect clean. I'm just trying to wipe it down before it goes into storage for later this year when we have a chance to get at it. And I can't get this guy out of my head. Joe Big Knife. What a cool guy. He's in Billings, Montana at this point, but previous address he was in Laurel, I believe Laurel, Montana. Let's see if Joe Big Knife's still around. Like, that guy's got to be a legend, doesn't he? If you had a name Joe Big Knife, wouldn't you accomplish something amazing with your life? You'd either be amazing or horrible. You're either like a lover or a killer. I don't know. It's like naming a guy Sue, maybe.
Kind of like him either way.
Yeah, I love this guy already. Let's see, Joe. I'm going to Google Joe Big Knife. Joe Big Knife obituary. Died in 2018. I wonder if this is a guy in Montana. All right. Box Elder, Montana. Listen, Joe Big Knife, lifelong cowboy, father, leader, 85 years old, died from natural causes at his home on Sweetgrass Road in Montana. This is beautiful, isn't it? Like, wouldn't you love to live on a road called Sweetgrass Road?
Take me home.
Oh. Why do we love these trucks? Because of like the history, the connection, the story. He was born in Beaver Creek to Big Knife and Flora Stump in the summer of 1933. So he's obviously a Native American. His dad's name was Big Knife. Wow. Want to see a picture of this guy? This is exactly what I picture him to look like. What a cool guy. Oh my goodness. Joe Big Knife, 85 years old. He left grade school to begin learning ranch hand skills. He married his sweetheart Roberta Jean Flying on December of 1959. What was he, like 27 years old, roughly, I think. Then he joined an operation and learned farming techniques. He fostered a great friendship with that farming family. He was raised traditional, active in cultural ceremonies. He did the sun dance. He was an avid chicken dancer. He was a member of the Haystack Ramblers. Once his family was started, he moved back to Rocky Boy. That must be a town in Montana. And he began his own ranch. He was not idle. He held 2, sometimes 3 jobs, all the while ranching. Throughout his life, he worked as a propane delivery driver, carpentry, a septic truck operator, a janitor, a school bus driver, a truancy officer. Could you imagine? You don't show up for school and Joe Big Knife is hunting you down. That guy can literally track you down. You cannot escape from Joe Big Knife. This guy was amazing. He reminds me, so this is a different era though. This is literally in the 50s and the 60s, I assume. That reminds me of like my great-grandpa, because he had so many jobs like that, where you just did whatever you could. And it appears as though this guy, so it says, he was also a Cree teacher. He was given an honorary degree in Cree from Stonechild College. He served 2 terms, so it's a language then. Okay, he served 2 terms on the Chippewa Cree Business Council and recently retired from Rocky Boy Public Schools in 2016, where he died in 2018. So he did that till he was what, 83? My gosh, this guy. He was a natural-born leader, became involved in serving our community on boards such as Housing Authority. He was in Farms and Conservation District. He was a Cattlemen Association. He was part of 4-H. He belonged to the American Quarter Horse Association. He raised many top-quality horses for work and pleasure. His favorite job he loved was a horse trader. He spent many summers at the Billings sorry. I get too emotional. You can tell I already am like so emotionally involved in this truck. Oh my goodness, what is happening to me? I've had a hard week. All right, he was a rodeo competitor, a calf roper, a team roper, a bulldogger. And he loved traveling with his rope horse, Dutch, who he trained himself and he refused to sell. Jeez Louise. Joe had faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. Jeez Louise. Joe, why are you doing this to me? Joe Big Knife, why? Why are you doing this? He had Christian fellowship with many of the clergy from all churches on Rocky Boy Reservation and abroad. He never hesitated to profess his faith or say a prayer when needed. Many a youth in high school can recall him saying a daily prayer. Oh my goodness. He spent time in visiting, praying, and reflecting on life. This guy sounds amazing. He had 21 grandchildren, 15 great-grandchildren. Wow. Well, that's amazing, isn't it? Tip of the hat to you, Joe Big Knife. Never met you, but thank you for living an amazing life that when I just read about you, it makes me want to be a better man, better father, and who knows what you find in the glove box of an old Ford truck. Let's get back to work. So we're gonna hit this truck quick with a wash, and I'm using this new tool I just bought from Giraffe Tools. It's a pressure washer, all in one, right there. It hangs on the wall. It's electric. That way it's easy to use inside the shop. It comes with a handy dandy wand and everything. It's not even that noisy. I've already said I'm not buying any more projects.
I think you said that when you were buying that Bronco.
I know. I've literally bought. I'm seriously done. No more projects.
You know what you have to do?
What?
Stop looking.
I know. I wasn't looking.
It found you?
It found me. Facebook knows what I have a weakness for.
Well, shut off the app.
I seriously was not looking. I sell things on Facebook Marketplace. I opened up the app. This truck was a suggested truck. And I was like, dang you, Facebook. You got me. You found my weakness. I can't resist. So this is the classic. Most people use Comet. I use Barkeeper's Friend. And a gray Scotch-Brite pad.
Why gray?
Well, the red Scotch-Brite is a lot more aggressive, and the gray, you know, is probably similar to like 1200 grit sandpaper or something. want you to see here once this hood is dry. Now the gray Scotch-Brite pad, I was trying to remember, it's about an 800 grit pad. So it is gonna leave some scratches. You can tell we've definitely got some scratches in the paint. Yeah, it knocks the oxidation off, but it does leave some surface scratches, especially in this era truck. You never wanna do this on a clear coat paint, all right? This is just old single stage paint. Now, I'm gonna buff this. You can always buff from 800 grit to a shine in about 2 to 3 steps. So I'm not nervous about that, but I'm just also not telling you to just go to your car and hit it with a Scotch-Brite pad, because it's gonna make it look horrible until you buff it, okay? You can almost see in this reflection, there is a light shine that's already starting. So if you look like on here, you can see all this oxidation that's still here. Makes it look really cloudy, because obviously we washed this whole truck. So we gotta get this truck out of here. I gotta move on with my life. We are unloading this truck for its long winter's nap. We're gonna get back to it in a few months. But how crazy was this journey, guys?
It was crazy.
Yeah, pretty
Really
crazy.
weird.
I mean, it only took one night, but it was a crazy night.
We ended up, I mean, we left, what, like 7, and we ended up getting home by like 1 or 2.
What do you think of the truck though, Liv?
I actually really like it.
Oh, look at it now. Look inside it.
Okay. You detailed it?
Just cleaned it.
Oh, I absolutely love the all red interior so much. And like the fact that nothing is cracked or broken is just amazing.
Climb up there and look at the hood.
Wowzers.
I just kind of scrubbed some of the oxidation.
Yeah, that is just beautiful.
It'll polish up. It'll look
Yeah.
good.
Is this the original paint?
Yep.
That is so awesome.
Yep.
It is a clean car, honestly.
So we're gonna kind of put it next to the old fire truck until probably spring. We'll get at it and make it a good driver.
So cute.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I want it.
You'll have to fight me for it.
Well, thank you guys for watching our crazy videos, and thank you for subscribing and sharing, and we'll just keep working on making this channel better and better.
You know it.
Yep.
Have a good day.